This is gonna be a follow-up reading for Gemini. What we've seen in the previous reading was someone who is not over you and who was having a hard time deciding what to do, what moves to take in order to get close to you again. And in the extended reading that was linked to the previous video, we also talked about a specific moment and situation where a little thing was going to happen, which was their first move towards you. And given these cards, we can still see that this person is feeling the same way. Starting with the first card, which is the Star. And right here, in fact, we have a message of hope. We can clearly see that this person is still thinking about the situation, still trying to find a way to come forward, which is definitely better than the start of the other beginning where we were seeing them pretending to have moved on, when in fact, they were still very much thinking about the situation, connected to you and feeling the need to get in touch with you again. Right here, instead, we see that they are acknowledging their needs and their hopes. They also have you in mind as their star. This is definitely an element that reflects their idea of you and what you bring to them in terms of energy. But also what we see from this card is that we are coming out of that dark moment that they went through, where they were trying to do their best to deny what they really wanted. Right here, instead, we are starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel. And with the Star, we also know that we don't know yet how this is going to happen. We don't know the results of it, the outcome, but we see that light and we trust that things are going to go our way. And so we follow that light, not knowing where it's going to take us. But what we see is that their need to come forward is much stronger than the fear of not knowing what the outcome might be. As far as they know, this might still not work out. They might still get rejected from you now that they come back. But honestly, it doesn't matter anymore. They want to move forward and they just want to follow this goal that they have right now. This is definitely showing a inner power that it's coming out and that it's really serving them in order to make the right moves. And right underneath here, we see that during that process, there is definitely a search for the truth and why certain things have happened. In fact, with the Judgment, what we have is someone who is self-evaluating, trying to find out about what brought to specific situations, and overall trying to learn from those lessons. The Judgment, in fact, is a card that clearly talks about finding yourself in a specific situation where you know that your actions brought you there. And while they are revisiting the past, finally seeing the things that they really have done wrong, now they are planning their comeback. In a way, I think they know that you are also still attached to them, or at least they hope so. And so what they want to do right now is coming up with a game plan so that whenever they will come forward, they won't risk to make the situation even worse. And so all of this attention that I see here might also tell us that at some point they really messed up. And so even if now they're coming back, maybe with an apology, they really have to make sure they know how to say they're sorry, because if they do it the wrong way, it might still turn against them. But we can see with the next card, the Six of Swords reversed, that they are not able to move on, even consider all the potential challenges that they're seeing right now. In fact, with the Six of Swords, we usually have a transition. We're trying to go from one place that once made us very, very happy to another place that, at least right now, doesn't feel familiar, doesn't feel good. And in fact, usually this card talks about a painful transition, something that we do not want to go through, but given the circumstances, we have to go through. And it's easy to understand that when this card is reversed, we definitely see their unwillingness to even go through this transition. And this is showing up because they will feel this way, but also because this will come up in a conversation with you. This might be really much related to them telling you that they don't think they can move on, they definitely don't want to move on, and that they want to give this relationship another chance. What they're saying here is, it's not time to move on because I really understand now what I have to fix. Now I do sense that we have the tools in order to make this right. And in fact, what they're saying right underneath the Six of Swords reversed is, let's start anew. With the Ace of Cups, in fact, we have an energy that it's bringing a new chapter onto a situation where things were not going well. With this Ace of Cups, we have the promise of a brand new beginning, a new cup that has the potential to evolve into what this situation should have been from the first time. And from these cards, I definitely think that this is exactly how the conversation will go, where they will be really honest. They will really tell you that this is way too painful, and the reason why it's so painful is because it's not meant to be. And if now we join forces and we really try to make it right, I believe that this is going to work out. I sense as though they're saying, we're good for each other, we belong together, and so this separation should have never taken place. But your immediate reaction from what we see with the Seven of Wands is that you might be against the whole thing, or at least deep down inside you feel as though you still have to protect yourself from someone who now is declaring their love to you. At the same time, although you are appreciating the words and the apologies, deep inside you still fear that they might do something wrong again in the future. They might feel this way now because they miss you, because they're not with you right now, but eventually, maybe down the line, you fear that you might go back to this. And you definitely don't want to go through that situation again. You just want to be happy, to focus on yourself. And if you have to share your love and your time with someone else, it has to be easy. You don't want to always have to defend yourself, to be on guard. You just want to love someone and be happy. I do get the sense that for you, this was way too much work. Maybe because you had to keep an eye on them all the time. You had to always make sure that they were not lying. And overall, that made you not happy. But from what at least the universe is saying with the Wheel of Fortune, it does seem as though now things are going to be fixed, now and in the future. In fact, with the Wheel of Fortune, we have an energy that talks about going through a situation over and over again, but this card being upright, to me, this is saying that this is a run of good luck. In other words, when this card appears, we know that we already went through this specific situation, but right now things have been learned. We have those tools that they're talking about up here. They know how much they would hate themselves if they lost you again. And so this could be the moment where they will realize that what they need to do is just making sure that they take care of this relationship and they take care of you without being selfish, without putting you in a position where you always have to be on guard, always need to make sure that they're not lying or doing something wrong. And so with the next card, we have a message from the universe that it's saying your hard work is paying off, which is definitely a positive message that goes to the both of you. To them, saying that if they keep trying and they show themselves as being sincere and really missing you, they might really have a chance, but they have to do it in the right way. And with this two clarifiers here, we have the Scythe and the Child, which to me, it's really talking about getting a clean cut from the past and start anew. We have an energy that it's talking about completely cutting off those branches that are not serving us anymore, they're not taking us towards the direction that we want to go to, and in a way start anew with an energy, the child, that instead talks about not having any pattern, not having any belief and limitation, but just trusting and learning as if nothing has ever happened before. So what I get here is get rid of the past and really start anew, which means really trust the situation and the universe to finally bring you what you should have had from the beginning. Someone who respects you, someone who protects you, and someone who loves you.